the best writing in Python. I think it's political writing is what's so brilliant about it. Because it's not really about Jesus, it's about, it's about prejudice, it's about unions, it's about, terrorists, it's all that nonsense. In those 5 minutes of, the sandal, the shoe, the gourd, it tells you everything about the history of religion.
Follow the gourd, the holy gourd of Jerusalem!
The gourd! Hold up the sandal! It's a shoe! It's a shoe! It's a sandal! It's a shoe!
Get away!
Put it on! Clear off!
Boom! It's the most concise, wonderful bit of prejudice, heresy, and everything, and punishment.
Up you go, big nose!
I'll get you for this, you bastard!
Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah, don't worry. I'll never forget a face.
No!
I'll warn you. I'm gonna punch you straight out, you Roman git.
Shut up, you Jewish turd!
Oh, you call me Jewish? I'm not Jewish. I'm a Samaritan.
A Samaritan? This is supposed to be a Jewish section. It doesn't matter, you're all gonna die in a day or two. It may not matter to you, Roman, but it certainly matters to us, doesn't it, darling?
Oh, rather.
Under the terms of the Roman occupancy, we're entitled to be crucified in a purely Jewish area.
Pharisees separate from Sadducees.
And clearly separate from Welsh. All right, we'll soon settle this. Hands up, all those who don't want to be crucified here. Next!
Now we come to how to end a movie where all of the characters have been arrested and are about to be crucified.
Because anyone on a cross is a sort of significant figure. That's the symbol of Christianity. And that's when Eric came up with always look on the bright side.
I just said, well, what they should do is we should have a song. We should end with a song. And everybody said, yeah, then we can have the feet kicking and all of that. And so I said, it should be a cheery song. It should be like a Disney song, a sort of whistly song.
When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life.
And I went straight home when I wrote it. I got my guitar out and I had these sort of jazz guitar chords, jing, jing, and I did the little whistle song.
If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps, just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing.
That song didn't really come to life until we got to Tunisia. Because when I did the demo, it was like, it sung very straight, and I didn't know. But when we got to Tunisia, I suddenly realized it should be a cheeky voice, Mr. Cheeky.
The bright side of death. Just before you draw your terminal breath. Life's a piece of shit when you look.
I remember saying to the guys at the time, I said, we might get people, religious nutheads, sort of taking pot shots at us, and it might be quite tricky and difficult when it comes out.
I mean, I was well aware of the storm, and I loved that. I mean, nothing better than the thought of what we were doing, that it would really open a hornet's nest. I mean, the first time I was really aware of the greatness of the moment of what we'd done was with Mike and John with on the television show.
And our guest reviewers are Mark and Margaret and Mervyn Stockwood, the Bishop of Southwark.
Great sort of event was the interview on the Tim Rice show where the Bishop of Southwark and Malcolm Muggeridge were brought in to attack the film, with John and myself defending it.
And you keep making the basic assumption, sorry, let me just say this, you keep making the basic assumption that we are ridiculing Christ and Christ's teaching, and I say that we are not. But do you imagine that your scene, for instance, of the Sermon on the Mount, the scene in your film of the Sermon on the Mount, is not ridiculing one of the most sublime utterances that any human being has ever spoken on this earth? Of course it is. No, it's making fun of the guy who's remembered it wrong and of the people who don't understand it and miss the point.
What was particularly funny was the crosses don't ever see Michael Payne.
Not a man is easily upset. It's almost apoplectic.
I started off by saying that this is such a 10th rate film that I don't believe that it would disturb anybody's faith.
Mind, I realise that.
And I remember Mervyn Stockwood, a pompous twerp, you know, an alcoholic and gay. I mean, the hypocrisy of it. Yes, fingering the cross, that was it.
The way people react to the cross, and after all, I'm not ashamed to wear the cross here, which is the sign of the bishop. When I look at that figure, I mean, I know you're going to say Brian isn't Jesus, but I mean, that's just rubbish.
Oh, they're using every old man trick in the book, every headmaster trick in the book.
I know people who went to college with exactly your own beard.
I remember
who are now
the
priests
sermons.
in my diocese.
I remember the sermons. I remember...
You don't remember mine? Tell me what I preached on.
No, I don't. I only remember the bad ones.
What?
I remember a gentleman coming and telling us how very difficult it proved to get the Bible into Tibet. You know? They'd had 7 occasions. The first time there'd been landslides, the second time there'd been rains and pages had got stuck together. The third time the mules had fallen off the mountainside. The 4th time there were thunderbolts. And the 7th time he said, God helped us. And we got the Bibles into Tibet. And the obvious conclusion was that he was trying like hell to stop them getting the Bible.
And I thought, okay, this is good. We started the controversy. And then I loved in New York is where it really got interesting.
Well, the new Monty Python film is entitled The Life of Brian. It is a spoof of the life of Christ and has managed to offend just about every religious group in the city.
Monty Python's Life of Brian, a film attracting much attention today outside the Warner Brothers building in Rockefeller Center. Demonstrators gathered to call the film blasphemous. Catholic, Jewish, Greek Orthodox, and Protestant religious leaders all condemned the film. The New York Archdiocese officially on record against it.
And people were walking up and down with billboards outside the cinema, which of course did us tremendous good and got millions of people to watch it who wouldn't otherwise. One billboard said, Monty Python is an agent of the devil. And I remember thinking, God, I'd like to be getting 10% of what he makes. You know.
Very early days of Life of Brian. It was banned in Carolina. And we said, how is it banned? And they said, well, Senator Strom Thurmond's wife had a friend who'd heard it was very anti-religious. And because of that, it was banned.
About 150 demonstrators say their right to freedom of expression has been violated. Theater owners quit showing The Life of Brian after Senator Strom Thurmond told them it offended religious leaders. These protesters say the film should not be censored, no matter what the subject is.
He has censored a movie, and it doesn't matter what the movie is. It's censorship, and that's bad news. This is America. That's not supposed to happen.
Look, you've got it all wrong. You don't need to follow me. You don't need to follow anybody. You've got to think for yourselves. You're all individuals. Yes, we're all individuals. You're all different. Yes, we're all different.
I'm not.
Life of Brian isn't blasphemous because it doesn't touch on belief at all. It's heretical because it touches on dogma and it touches on the priesthood and the interpretation of belief rather than belief itself.